Hi, fellow bus drivers. My name is Jeanette, and just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of go over my backstory because backstories are fun. I moved I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio, but I moved to Wisconsin, and after ending a bad relationship, came back to move with my parents. Great, they let me in, and I'm completely grateful for that. But I didn't really know what I was going to do with the rest of my life. I really wanted to have a serious career. Long time ago, I signed up, did my prerequisites and got into the culinary school, kind of first step to get into culinary school. They were finally accepting me. And I was pregnant. And he said, this is going to be a lot of long hours and a lot of time away from your kid. And I pretty much left crying, thinking this may not be what I want to be, as someone who's away from my kid all the time. I just don't know what I want, but I love cooking, and that still stands. But I moved back and needed to find a job I'd do for a long time and kind of grow old in. And my thought process was, I don't want to spend a lot of time away from my kids. I love my kids. I want to be a big influential part of their lives. I want to help them grow to be strong individuals, and I want to have good insurance, and that was kind of my prerequisites for finding this job. I looked in the paper. Yes, it was an ad in the paper, because that's how old I am. And I just thought, I could probably do that. I get my summers off, and I was looking at all the perks, and granted, I was homeschooled from 7th grade on, so I really didn't have a good understanding of the bus because I pretty much walked to all my schools from my house, so I really didn't know what I was getting into. And when I went in for my interview, I was pretty young. I was 26, and that's kind of young to become a bus driver. I think most of them, don't start that young. But if you get in, then you can retire at a good age, so hey, nothing wrong with it. I've already put in 10 years, so. But my boss kind of looked at me like, I don't think you can do this, and that's kind of what I was getting from her. I don't think you can do this, You're young, and, she kept giving me all these reasons, and I looked at her and I said, look, if you don't want to hire me, I'll go somewhere else, but this is what I want to do. Because I kind of made up my mind, I think it'd be a cool job. And she looked at me and said, all right. So she saw the determination in me. But I think as a supervisor, when you're hiring someone, it's kind of important to let them know what they're getting into. And she definitely did that. As far as, there are a lot of stresses and you have to be able to handle that. Maturity is a big part of it. And, there's a lot of aspects to this job that if you're looking at a person to hire, you want to be able to see those things. But I think my determination kind of pushed me over all those other qualities she was looking for, and besides the fact that I'm a good-hearted person, and most bus drivers, I would say 99.9% of them, there's always that 1% somewhere that doesn't necessarily have their heart in it, but we all love the kids, and that's definitely something we all have in common, and it's a common thread through all districts is, we do love kids and we want to see them thrive in their future. And so I got started, and for the first 2 years, I pretty much came home crying a lot. When you get a new job as a bus driver, you're pretty much handed the worst route there is when you first get contracted. And you have to deal with the most challenges right off the bat because that's a route nobody wanted. And you struggle a lot because there's so many different challenges in that first year. And if you're not prepared ahead of time for just even simple situations and knowing how to handle them, it can be very frustrating. And if you don't have any direction to take, And my boss did pretty good. She guided me through, excuse me, a lot of those situations, showing me that professionalism was definitely a big part of that. I'll get into pupil management on a different program, but I do want to touch on that definitely on a broader range, and that takes a lot of time. So, but I got through it, and every year, you know, you get to the end of that summer closer, you know, like we are right now. We got, I don't know, 27 days left, and it kind of gets exciting, like, oh, I made it, I did it, you know. And I used to kind of feel like after every route that I was just like this superhero. Like, I just survived that. I just got all these kids home safely. Yeah, I had some issues. Yeah, there'll be some write-ups for it. But I am pretty amazing. And I think you guys, as fellow bus drivers, should feel that way every day, too. It's pretty amazing, because what we do is special. We're not always appreciated for what we do. You know, when I first started working here, I sensed pretty quickly that a lot of drivers felt like they were at the bottom of the totem pole as far as a district, you know, because we're not the teachers, and we're not the principals, and, you know, we're not the ones affecting the students every day. But that's not necessarily true. We do affect the students every day. Our mood, we're the first person they see when they get on the bus. We say good morning, or we completely ignore them, you know. And we can notice things about them, their shoes, give them a compliment on their hair, and set them off in a great mood for the start of the day. And I've had several, you know, very nice letters from students over the years that just have said really, really nice things. And that takes time. You know, it doesn't happen the first year, because you know, you're still kind of frazzled. But, you know, there's little things like kids even bringing you flowers, or gifts during the holidays kind of thing. It happens, and you just go, yeah, that's right. This is worth it. And it's the little things, you know. But I just want to set this YouTube channel up for success for you, for all the trainees that are going to come my way. And that's pretty much my backstory. I mean, I became an OBI probably second year I started, because I was thinking to myself, job security. If I get to be an OBI, then I'm probably going to never lose my job. Well, little did I know, nobody really wants to be an OBI, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. It's like double the responsibility on you, because there's a lot more accountability as far as being an example, you know, to the people that you've trained. So but it's fun. It's fun to watch people grow into being a good driver, and sometimes people remind me that I trained them and I've forgotten. They're like, yeah, you trained me, you know, I'm a good driver. And I go, that's right, I did, because I don't view that person as someone I trained. I view them as a fellow bus driver, you know, and it's a special thing to watch people grow into that. But so thanks for joining me, and hopefully some of these videos will be helpful to you in your journey. And if you ever feel that you want to reach out and give me an email to say anything, go ahead and do that. I'd appreciate any comments. All right, we'll see you next time.